Hey everybody, it's Jeff from New York, and I am on the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls River today, and we're going to take a walk through Queen Victoria Park. In our last Niagara Falls video here on the New York channel, we walked across the Rainbow Bridge from the U.S. side into the Canadian side, and again, we're on the Canadian side now. And to avoid any confusion, this town that we're in here in Canada is called Niagara Falls, and on the U.S. side, on the other side of the river, it's also called Niagara Falls. So the U.S. has a town called Niagara Falls, so does Canada. It's funny, once I crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, I've been approached for several times during the day by people asking me questions in French, which I have no idea anything about the French language. I'm assuming they're Canadian tourists visiting Niagara Falls. I think I just have that I know everything look about me, when in actuality I know very little. Bonjour, félicitations. Now, I know lots of people get married on the New York side of the falls, and I'm assuming lots of people get married on the Canadian side as well. I was on a tour the other day on the U.S. side of the falls, and the tour guide was telling us that Niagara Falls, New York is the wedding capital of the U.S. And, well, we took his word for it as, well, he's a tour guide. He must know what he's talking about. But upon returning to my hotel room and doing a little investigation, he was incorrect. Las Vegas is indeed the wedding capital of the world, or at least the U.S., and it's also the divorce capital of the U.S. as well. Which just goes to show you can't believe everything you see and hear on television, on newspapers, or the internet, or a tour guide, or even a YouTube channel. Lots of cafes and shops around here. We'll stop off at a shop in a moment. The falls on the left are the American Falls, and the Horseshoe Falls are in the background, Horseshoe Falls being half in America, half in Canada. The falls are quite loud. You can hear them in the background here because I have the audio down a little bit, but when you're here, you can hear them a mile away. I stopped into one of the gift shops here. Let's take a look around. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe to the New York channel if you haven't done so already. I have a goal of 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and only you unsubscribed people can help me with that. Also, give the video a thumbs up if you're finding it entertaining and informative. You guys know I collect refrigerator magnets in all my travels. I already picked up my U.S. Niagara Falls refrigerator magnet, and before I leave this shop today, I am going to pick up the Canadian side of the falls magnet. In case you're wondering, in Canada they use the Canadian dollar, whereas in the U.S. they obviously use the U.S. dollar. And here's a little tip for you guys. When you're visiting Canada, always try to pay in American cash, whether it be a gift shop, a restaurant, or even a hotel. And try to avoid using credit cards, which typically charge foreign transaction fees when used in Canada, and that can range from 1 to 3% of the purchase price, in addition to any currency conversion fees. So again, American cash, always the best to use. By the way, here's my Canadian refrigerator magnet at home with dozens of others. I really wanted to spend all day and night here in Canada, but it poured this morning. As you can see, everything is wet. The rain stopped late in the afternoon. That's when I decided to walk across that Rainbow Bridge and come on over to the Canadian side. But I did lose a lot of time here. There's hotels, casinos, shopping, restaurants, all on this side, the Canadian side, and I just couldn't get to everything. I got to some of it, but not everything. And, well, I made up my mind when I got back home that I'm definitely heading back. Below us is the Hornblower boat ride. It's the equivalent, the Canadian equivalent to the American Maid of the Mist. If you haven't seen the Maid of the Mist video, it is available here on the New York channel. Pretty much the same exact boat ride, just on the Canadian side. And right above it is the Niagara zip line. It takes you along the Niagara River, not across the river, but along the river. I think the number one question I get, whether it's in person or hearing comments on the New York channel, is which side do you prefer, the Canadian side or the U.S. side? And my honest opinion is it really doesn't matter. You get to see it all. It's all within walking distance. I didn't hop into a car once since I've been here, except to get to and from the airport. All within walking distance. As long as you have some kind of a passport with you, not a driver's license, but a passport, you can just walk back and forth between the U.S. and Canadian sides. And again, all within walking distance, all the attractions. I will say the American side is more quieter, maybe a little bit more romantic. And as far as the falls are concerned, on the American side, you're right on top of those falls. It's pretty thrilling. Whereas on the Canadian side, you get, I think, a better view of the falls in general, but again, you're not as close as you are on the American side. Both parks, Queen Victoria Park as well as Niagara Falls State Park, both very beautiful parks. There's one casino on the U.S. side, which is where I was staying, and there's a couple of them here on the Canadian side. There's also more shopping and restaurants here on the Canadian side. So if you're coming with a family, well then yes, I would say stay on the Canadian side if you're going to be here for a few days, because there's more for the kids to do on this side. But if you're looking for a little more romantic getaway, I would say the U.S. side. Looks like the sun's trying to come out, and that's a good thing. It rained really hard this morning, so much so that I thought I'd have to spend the day and evening in a casino, and well, we know how that would have turned out. Speaking of my casino, there's my hotel all the way across the river. It's that white building. To me, that's walking distance. To you, that might not be walking distance. Hey guys, if you have a moment, please share this video on your social media. It gets the video more views and it gets the channel new subscribers. I do appreciate that. Some interesting facts about Niagara Falls. There's actually 3 falls. There's the American Falls, the Bridal Veil Falls, as well as the Horseshoe Falls. All 3 can be seen from here. The falls are relatively young. Niagara Falls was formed from the same glacial melt activity that formed the Great Lakes at the end of the last ice age, about 12,000 years ago, and that may seem like eons to us, but it's just a blink of the eye in the grander scheme of things. That beautiful park across the river, Niagara Falls State Park, is the oldest park in the oldest national park, I should say, in the United States, and that video is available here on the New York channel. Niagara is not the tallest waterfall in the United States. It stands at 176 feet. Compare that to the tallest waterfall, Yosemite Falls, which tops out at almost 2,500 feet. There's no comparison. However, a lot more water flows over those falls than anywhere else in the country. About 700,000 gallons of water per second pour over Niagara Falls, making it the largest waterfall in North America by volume. Lakes Superior, Michigan, Huron, and Erie drain into the mighty Niagara River before emptying into Lake Ontario. Put the 5 Great Lakes together and you've got the world's largest freshwater system. The falls generate 4 million kilowatts of electricity, which is enough to supply more than a quarter of all the power used in New York State and in Ontario, Canada. More than 8 million visitors explore Niagara Falls State Park annually. Yes, fish do plunge over the falls, and it's estimated that almost all of them survive thanks to their ability to flow with the water. Sometimes, however, they are a bit stunned after making their journey, and those who escape the circulating seagulls shake it off and swim away. The falls were originally located 7 miles downriver, but they're always eroding. As a matter of fact, they erode at the rate of 1 foot per year. They move north 1 foot per year. Eventually, though, like tens of thousands of years from now, they'll completely disappear into Lake Erie. There are maple leaves everywhere. You would think we were in Canada. Oh, wait a minute, never mind. I just want to take a moment and really enjoy the scenery. I'm going to try not to commentate for a couple of moments and we can just enjoy the park. Everything is still wet from the morning rain and things just photograph much better when they're wet. As a matter of fact, if you notice in movies, they actually hose down the streets before they shoot a street scene because, well, things just look more beautiful when they're wet. So
In any event, I'm rambling here. Let's enjoy the park a little bit. Hey, if you'd like to help support the New York channel, then just click on that super thanks button right underneath this video. Doing so not only helps support the channel and makes videos like this one possible, but it'll get you a shout out on a future New York video. Thanks so much for your support, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hey guys, I hope you found the video entertaining and informative, and don't forget, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share it on your social media. More to come from the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you around the city.